Welcome back. The next company, as I said, on our radar is DCM Shriram. The company came out with a good set of numbers for the second quarter. They have multiple businesses, obviously. There is the Chloro-vinyl business, there's a sugar business, there's a fertilizer business. So it's got lots of verticals. Overall, if you look at the performance, the revenue was up about 9.2%. The operating profit margin actually expanded. The margins touched over 6%. And the profitability was also sharply higher. So let's figure out how the trends are shaping up. We have Amit Agarwal, Executive Director and Group CFO at DCM Shriram with us. Amit, good to have you on. So I actually just want to start with the chloro-vinyl business, which has done really well this quarter, right? The revenue is up 12% and the EBIT is also sharply higher. Just tell us how you see the second half trends play out for this business. And also, our colleague points out, apparently there is an anti-dumping duty on PVC suspension resin that's going to be levied. So that should be great news, right? Because I think you, along with a couple of other players from the industry, were arguing for this, for some protection against all the cheap imports coming from China and other countries.
Yeah, true. So on your first question, the trends on profitability, we do expect these trends to continue in the second half of the year as well, because largely these trends are supported by a better cost structure, given that the energy prices over the same period last year have come off. And we expect these to continue, and also that we have done some energy saving initiatives. Investments also we've done over the last 1 to 2 years, which are shaping up pretty well. So these trends will continue. On top of that, we have these new investments, which are now coming on track with the new chemicals like hydrogen peroxide, aluminum chloride, as well as ECH. Now, once these are up and running, we do expect performance to get better in the coming
So if you could give some numbers, that would help. I mean, if I'm looking at the breakup, the revenue for the chloro-vinyl segment is about 770 crores right now. And then you're talking about a lot of this capex also coming on stream. Yeah. By the end of this year, how big will this business be? And in terms of contribution, will it remain below the sugar business? Because right now the sugar business is the biggest one for you, right?
Yeah. So for this year, yes, the profitability for chemicals will remain below the sugar business. However, in the next year, which is, when we'll have the full year for these new capexes, new products which have come up, then we'll see a better year for chloro-vinyl.
Okay. And what about this anti-dumping duty, PVC suspension resin? I believe it's already come in effect, or
no,
it's not. Okay.
It hasn't. It is only a recommendation from the Ministry of Commerce, which has gone to Ministry of Finance. And then it takes about anywhere between 1 to 2 months for it to formalize, depending on the view that the Ministry of Finance takes. So
and what will be the implications if you get a favorable sort of a view from MOF, and if they indeed decide to levy the duty, the anti-dumping duty, then what would the implications be for your business in terms of revenue, pricing?
Yeah. So see, most of the PVC that comes into India, the prices that become suboptimal is because of dumping from China. Now, on China, if I remember correctly, the range of dumping duty is anywhere between $80 to $125. Ballpark, let's say about $100. So that should be the likely impact on the prices, product prices.
Okay. Just to complete this picture, and then of course we move on to the sugar business as well. I think caustic volumes were up about 15.5%. You mentioned the aluminum chloride projects as well, some of the newer capex that's coming in. On the individual chemical side, if you could just give us some projections that we can work with.
See, it's difficult to give the numbers for this year, right? Given that these projects are coming up, especially the hydrogen peroxide and epichlorohydrin. These projects, aluminum chloride is a project which will come up in probably it'll take next 1.5 years to come up. So I think on hydrogen peroxide and epichlorohydrin, one of the projects has already been commissioned. The other project will get commissioned in Q4. So as I mentioned, we will see full year numbers in next year. And my sense is the capacity utilization also will take about 2 to 3 years to ramp up. So yeah, I think good times for the chemicals business going forward.
Okay, so now let's talk big picture. Also sugar. I think sugar this quarter there was an EBIT loss. Yesterday we were speaking with ISMA and they were saying that I think in Maharashtra there's a bit of a go-slow in the activity because it's election season. But now give us projections in terms of full year revenue. How much will the chemicals business be? What will be the growth over, say, FY24 for the chemicals business and also sugar?
See, in sugar business, as you mentioned, Q2 was a loss. So that is, more of a seasonality in that business. So if you see most of the sugar companies' results that you see this quarter will be a loss. And that's more of a seasonality and the accounting issue. But I think next quarter and the quarter after is when the crushing starts, and that's when the profits also are the highest for the sugar business. So my sense is profits for sugar business should be in line with what we had last year. However, the chemicals business should see about 10 to 15% higher profitability.
10 to 15% higher profitability. Okay, final question. And now full year projections for the company. And, we really try and understand this because you have so many different business lines. Now, for FY25, because FY24, your revenues dipped at an aggregate level, right? I mean, they came down to just under 11,000 crores. FY25, what will be the top line growth and blended margins, all the businesses put together at the operational level, EBITDA level? What is the blended margin profile that you're hoping to achieve? Two big numbers.
So, yes, we do have multiple businesses, right? But I think we've always mentioned that the businesses that make a difference are essentially four businesses. One is the chemicals business, the sugar business, farm solutions, and Finesta. So one really, if you have to see, and two of these businesses, farm solutions, Finesta, are the consumer-facing businesses. So one really has to look at our company from four business perspective. Yes, other businesses do support overall, profitability. But these are the four drivers of our performance. Now, coming to the point you raised of what do we see FY25 numbers, I think it's a little difficult to give you what the numbers will look like because the kind of businesses we are in. But we do expect growth in chemicals, in farm solutions, and in Finesta business.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. And great perspective across lines of businesses, and there are many as far as DCM Shriram is concerned. Thank you very much indeed. Well.